in the summer wind.
Two sweethearts, that's what we are, Steve. Me and Adubato Episcopo.
Good morning, my man.
Two sweethearts in the summer wind. You gotta love it, Stephen. You gotta love it, man. Welcome
good morning,
back.
Joseph.
How are you, Stephen? Great to hear your voice, my friend.
Good to talk to Frank and Al and the whole team. And by the way, can I ask, I know this is sacrilegious, but I'm saying this about Sinatra, I'm saying this about Summer Wind, but Labor Day has passed, and it's time, possibly, I don't control the music, but possibly when I do appear on radio, on the greatest radio program in the morning for a new song, because the summer's over.
Yeah, you got it. But do you have a choice there? Because yes,
I do.
Is it a Sinatra song, we hope?
No, what would be the appropriate song to describe Eli Manning in late in the fourth quarter?
Dunce.
I leave that to Al, who has quite an imagination for fumbling things late in the game. That's all.
Oh, there you go. No.
Dummy, dunce cap. What do you want, Steve?
Listen, Al, I follow you on social media. I know you're a genius. So figure it out.
And you know what's good? His demeanor is calm, too, Steve, which is good about Al Gattullo, right?
He's very let me just say this about Al. I know that I get some of my genes from my father, the great Steve Adubato Sr., especially how calm he is in a crisis. I'm joking. I watched Al's mother on social media in a video where Al interviews his mother about certain things that she didn't get in a hospital situation. I understand Al a lot better now.
Yeah, I'll tell you.
That's all I'm going to say. It's too inside. I apologize to our audience.
No!
It's too Italian and too inside.
Steve, you're part of the family, man. You sit in on the show. People love you, man, and we appreciate it. And then thank you for having me on your CBS show. And nice. It was so great. You brought Frankie Five Boroughs on. That was a nice thing. And that you had Ross Baraka on.
Ross Baraka, yes. That would be one-on-one on PBS, WNET, in New York, NJTV, WHYY in Philadelphia, FiOS for those who don't watch PBS and watch commercial TV. That's at Newark at a Crossroads all this week. We had Ross Baraka, the mayor of Newark, post Cory Booker. Newark is at a Crossroads all this week, and we're interviewing the head of the public schools, Chris Cerf, talking about what's going on with the public schools, crime, a whole bunch of other things, economic development, arts, culture, all this week. But I have someone else on my mind this week.
Who would that be, dare I ask?
Did you read my scathing piece on Hillary Clinton? Did you read it?
Yes. As a matter of fact, the first thing this morning, this is what I woke up to, was Mr. Morano sending me the information. You got to read Steve's article.
Dude, that's what the hell you want to wake up to. It's my piece on Hillary Clinton. Sunshine.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan. Of yours, I am. I'm not a fan of hers.
What's going on with that? Steve, what are you...
This is my short version.
Yes, please.
She can't turn it around, and I'll tell you why. I basically wrote in my piece, connected to my upcoming book, Lessons in Leadership. At the core, she is not a strong leader, because a strong leader in this email situation, much less the Benghazi situation with the stakes much higher, at the core, strong leaders, including, sorry for the joke about Eli Manning, they own it. They take responsibility. They say, that one's on me. Hillary Clinton, every instinct in her that I see is, it was allowed. It was allowed. So you're saying that because you think technically the law allowed you to do something with your server, even though you knew instinctively it was wrong as Secretary of State to have a private server, you're going to say what the law technically allowed, that's the lowest bar for a leader, Joe.
Yeah.
And I'm saying that's who she is. I'm saying she only apologized because she was back into a corner and the poll numbers were dropping, and Uncle Joe, the real Uncle Joe Biden, is about to jump into this race, and Bernie Sanders, who I didn't even know who he was before this, is nipping at her heels in Iowa and New Hampshire. You don't apologize when you have no choice. You apologize up front because that's what strong leaders do, and she's not that. And I'm sorry, Joe, I don't see it.
You know, it's Steve Adubato on line with Piscopo at 747 right now. Steve wrote this great article about Hillary. She paints herself as a victim, Steve says. And also you went on to say, Steve Adubato, one of Hillary's biggest leadership flaws is that she simply lacks the ability to see how others see her. That is very poignant, Stephen.
I know my wife knows I'm full of you-know-what when I'm trying to get out of things. I'm not that stupid to think I'm getting away with it. She actually thinks she's getting on my wife, Hillary Clinton. actually thinks people believe what she's saying.
Yeah.
Hillary, look, you were trying to have a private email server because you wanted things to be private. It's not the worst thing in the world, but don't you think we know that? Don't you think we understand when you left the White House with Bill Clinton and then you left the Secretary of State, you said, geez, we don't know how we're going to pay our bills. Don't you think that we're laughing at you? Don't you think when you were doing the nay-nay with Ellen DeGeneres, we're laughing at you? What I mean by that is it's okay, but you got to see how you're seen by other people. And I think she's tone deaf as to whether it's a funny situation or a serious situation. She doesn't know how she's seen by others. And that's some sort of psychological, and my PhD is not in psychology. I think there's something deeper there, Joe, and it is a character flaw that is a problem.
You know, so we're thinking, Steve, talking about Hillary with Steve Adubato, is that Department of Justice, and you know politics better than anybody, man. You experienced it firsthand with your dad, a legend in the North Ward of Newark, New Jersey, and presidents have come in, and I mean, what a great history with your family in politics. I mean, is she going down? Is that your instinct? I asked Anthony earlier, do you think she's going down? Because it looks like Obama's throwing her right under the bus. And if that's the case, the FBI will take her down. No?
Sorry for interrupting. You talk about the great Anthony Pope. I defer to Anthony on legal and criminal issues because, like I said, I know my limitations. I will say this: I don't do commentary and analysis on legal or criminal things, but I'll say this: politically, I don't see this turning around because I don't see her having the capability, the willingness, and the core to be able to say, "I'm screwed up. I am really screwed up." And for most of my public life, I've been making excuses. I've been blaming other people. A great right-wing conspiracy? Really? That's what it was?
Remember that? Oh, Lord,
That's what it was? No, it was what he did. Is that what's going on with you right now? The Republicans are coming after you? No, the Democrats have lost faith in you. It's because you're a woman? No, I say terrible things about Trump, not because he's a man, but because I disagree with him. The point is she's just an excuse maker, and if that's who you are at the core, why is she going down ultimately, in my opinion? Because when you're approaching 70 years of age, and you don't take that hard a look at yourself, and you basically believe it's the rest of the world and not me, I don't know how it turns around unless you're in deep therapy in the middle of a presidential campaign.
I love it.
Sorry,
Steve.
Joe, I want to be more upbeat.
No, it's great because our audience is very, very concerned about this. Joe Biden steps in, Bernie Sanders steps in, Jim Webb, me and Marana like Webb, Steve Adubato. I'm telling you, this is the guy. You're going to watch him surface, like Frank said, during those debates. Stephen, where can we find the article? Where's the best place to go for this great article that you wrote?
www.stand-deliver.com. You click on Lessons in Leadership. There it is, big Steve Adubato picture. It's my high school picture right there. Lessons in Leadership. And it's also on the AM970 website. Right there, Lessons in Leadership, Steve Adubato. You'll see Hillary Clinton last time I wrote about Trump. I'll write about everyone out there in the public arena. I wrote about Tom Brady. Not a fan. But there's some. I'm not sorry. You got to buy. There are some people I think are great leaders. They're few and far between. Like Joe Piscopo.
You're the best, Stephen. I love you. Thank you for coming on the show. Can't wait for you to come in and host again. And we appreciate it, Stephen, knowing how busy you are. Steve Adubato right there on AM970. The Answer. God bless, my friend.
You guys are the best. Same to you. Bye.